being here. Thank y'all for the merchandise. Get home safely. And one last thing, just for my amusement, fuck Booker T.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Big Dave. This is Wrestling Montage Media. If this is your first time here, please consider giving us a like and a subscribe. We do custom interest videos. We do podcasts and reaction videos like this. So I'm just going to get into the whole controversy between Swerve Strickland and Booker T. Obviously, Swerve feels some type of way about Booker T, and I think this is where it stemmed from. This is where it all came from. So we just going to react to this and just go through the timeline of everything that's happened up until this point.
Well, when you look at WWE, there's been 12 black world champions.
Yeah.
The Rock, Booker T, Kofi Kingston,
Kofi Kingston,
Bobby Lashley, Big E. On the female side is Jacqueline, Jazz, Alicia
Jacqueline? Bro, he don't know the names at all.
Fox, Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Bianca Belair.
Mm-hmm.
So you join this group of people,
Don't forget about Mark Henry. Mark Henry was the world heavyweight champion, not WWE champion. Really, the whole controversy between, because I said this for years, man. I never considered The Rock the first black WWE champion, probably because he is of mixed race. He says he's a black Samoan, but he mainly only celebrates and claim his Samoan heritage. So I'd never consider him just, black anything. You can't go without saying Mark Henry was definitely a world champion. So I think that counts as well.
basically a very small group of people.
Yeah.
How did that feel to really be a world champion and to be the first black AEW world champion?
There's words that I can't describe it really. You always when you start whatever business or passion you're going for, you always want to find okay, what's my purpose going to be for it? I never knew that was going to be my purpose. Life in my career trajectory just kind of pushed me towards that was going to be my purpose.
Yeah, and I'm so freaking proud of Swerve Strickland, man. I remember his days. I didn't really watch Lucha Underground like that. I know he was in Lucha Underground, but his early NXT days, I remember there was a particular theme song I really liked. Like his first theme song was a banger. But anyway, really at the time, I really didn't see much of what he could have been, his star power. But later on, I started to see that not even a Hit Row, just like that before joining Hit Row, I was thinking, okay, maybe he does have potential to become more than a flippy cruiserweight guy. Now we know what Swerve is all about. He has broken out, and he has really become his own man, his own vibe, and I really enjoy his work. I was actually at the show he won his first world championship last year when Dynasty was here in St. Louis, and that was a hell of a moment, man.
And it's man, that's these are people I grew up watching. These are people I've trained side by side in the ring with, shared cars with, and having my name etched in next to Dwayne, Mark, Booker, who's still a great friend of mine. It's now I still look up to them as a professional, and as a fan, I'm still look up to them. But now professionally, I look side to side with them in a way. And a lot of those guys, they weren't necessarily main eventing as those championships were being held either. There's always a Brock Lesnar above, or there's always a Goldberg, or something was above them. I'm actually main eventing with my title reign, which is very rare in itself right there.
Yeah, that's very true, man. That's what I was saying with, that's why he didn't mention Mark Henry for some reason, because even though Mark Henry was the champion, we're back in 2011. Who was the WWE champion? Was it, I want to say it was CM Punk, but Mark Henry was world champion. So
it's not to take away credit from these men and women, but it's that sets me in an even smaller group of talent in that already small pool. The one big main eventers was Dwayne and The Rock. The Rock and Mark, maybe I don't know how many times, but they've all shown that it was possible.
Right.
And that was with the machine. I didn't have the machine, to be able to do that. I had to actually like figure it out and create and like take risks and do something that's just so completely different. And like those guys already paved the way so many different ways. I'm like, I got to find a way for myself to like create a whole new lane that nobody has ever really done. And death matches, doing that shit, like as a black man, you're not seeing that on the mainstream. And
True.
That was like a niche that I carved out. Is I don't rely on it too much, but I set the bar so like that's where I can go.
But yeah, with that, and then you had New Jack, and he wasn't really mainstream, but I mean, as far as like black extreme wrestlers, that's really the only one that I can think of for right now.
Well, you said the WWE doesn't treat black wrestlers fair.
I don't think they market the value as fair.
Okay.
I don't think they market anybody's value as fair, really.
Well, your friend Booker T actually responded to you saying that.
Mm-hmm.
He said, look at the black talent in WWE right now, like Bianca Belair, Obafemi, The New Day. The New Day has won more tag team championships than anybody.
Man, I wish this guy would come back, Velveteen Dream. The charges were dropped, so nothing was proven in court. I want him to come back. Anyway.
Bianca Belair, she's headline at WrestleMania. Obafemi's a young guy out of college, is doing big things at NXT. I'm just trying to figure out what he's talking about. So I'm just trying to figure out if it's something that's happened to him personally, as far as him not getting the push that he wanted in WWE. He felt like perhaps he should have been a bigger star in WWE. And the thing is, sometimes things just don't work out. I hate that we're still talking about this race thing as far as, what WWE is doing with black folks. And I say that with all sincerity because I'm black. I've been working for the company for a long time, and I know I've been treated fair for the last 20 years.
That's not what happened when Vince said the N-word in front of you. That's not being treated fair.
Woo. Okay, we're going there. We're going there. All right. This is a segment from 2006 or 7 when Cena was walking to the back. Yeah, Cena had walked up to Vince for some reason. Just out of nowhere, Vince was like, "What's up, my nigga?" Booker T came from out of nowhere and did his catchphrase. Did he just say that? And it was a small segment, but of course these days you can't do nothing like that. For Swerve, his response to that, for him saying, "How could you let Vince?" I'm sure Booker knew about the segment going into it, what was going to happen, but what could he really do in that moment? If that's what the company gonna go with, if that's what they decide to do, if that's your boss and we're gonna do that, he could have said no. He could have been like, no, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not cool with that. But Vince gonna do what Vince gonna do. And if you in that position in that moment, he just saying a word. By all means, your job on the line. Do what you need to do. Just get past it and move on. I mean, some that may be controversial. Some of you guys may not agree with that. Just to not do the segment and refuse and then lose your job is another thing. It was definitely at the time distasteful, and of course I don't agree with it. But the word doesn't impact me as much because I know how I see myself as a man. Personally, no one is gonna call me any name that I know I don't believe about myself for it to affect me in any type of way. Now it depends on the person. If they are strictly saying it to you, calling you this, and they blatantly disrespecting you, and that's how they feel about you, of course, go after them, defend yourself, do what you need to do. Just a word, just to be out there and people just saying it, it has no impact on me. My opinion.
And to that statement, it's not even what I'm saying. I'm saying what people are saying. I'm saying what your audience is saying. So it's not just me just talking out of my ass out of nowhere. It's what your audience has been complaining about for the better part of like 2-3 years from not seeing black talent getting single matches on PLEs and stuff like that. It's not. This is what I'm seeing on, because now those guys are like on socials more. They're hearing like they talk back and forth with the fans a little bit more. They see so you can't ignore that anymore, And then like since that quote, you're seeing like hearing quotes from Triple H saying like he doesn't see color in press conferences after someone actually calling them out at their press conferences saying that, why is there no African American talent? You put the black celebrities in the audience. Those black celebrities who I know, I'm pretty friends with, they want to see the same people that represent them perform at these shows, and not seeing that. Mm-hmm. It's not. I'm not saying anything like brutal or mean or disrespectful to the company. I'm just regurgitating what your fan base is telling you that you're not hearing and giving what they're giving. So it's not just me like, oh, what was me? I'm bitter and this like that. I moved on and I got my money and I created my own value.
Right. So now we're finna get into Booker T's response about Swerve Strickland's comments after AEW Dynasty.
You know what? Let's get the elephant out of the room. Everybody going to be expect to be. Let's rewind. I woke up this morning and I'm wondering, why is my name trending? Why is my name all over social media? And then I see the video of Swerve Strickland saying F Booker T at the end of what was it?
Dynasty.
The AEW pay-per-view. And you know what? I'm not gonna even get upset about that or anything like that. But I'm gonna give Swerve Strickland a little bit of advice, just a little bit. And that advice would be, don't be talking about something other than the pay-per-view at the end of the night. You know what I mean? That's the main event. That's the last thing people are going to remember. Last thing people remember is me, Booker T, my name being said.
Hey, can you blame him? That's exactly right. Booker T's 100% right about that. Have people thinking about and talking about the pay-per-view, not something that just came completely out of left field, completely out of nowhere, pretty much just to have a moment, a viral moment, and for it to be what it is right now. It could have been completely nothing, especially if it don't have any effect on Booker T not even upset about it, then what was the point?
And I'm sure Tony Khan really don't appreciate the news, the headline not being what happened at Dynasty and with all the matches, hopefully with the great card, with all the great matches. But they're talking about Booker T. That just was a bad move. It was a bad move. And
for sure, I'm just gonna have a little fun and move myself right here. The Booker T talking to me. Continue.
There again, he's got a lot of energy. At the end of
I'm a mark for myself.
a show, but I'm not that type, man. I'm from that school. If you got something to say to somebody, you say it in their face. You say it to their face.
Right.
And
Booker T old school, man. Big dog, he old school.
I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I mean? Hopefully Swerve Strickland will have a hell of a career. Hopefully he'll do very, very well in this business. But I'm gonna keep stressing what I've been talking about for a long time as far as black folks, especially in the company that I work for. Man, go out there and get it on your talent. Go out there and get it on your merit. Nobody will ever be able to take it away, and no one will ever be able to say you got it because of only for your talent. That's it. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep advocating for young guys, to go out there and perform at the highest level. Take what you want, because it's not going to be given to you. You got to take it. And the only way you're going to be able to take it is, through your performance, how good you really are.
And that's exactly what Swerve Strickland has done. He's taken who he is, not the plans that WWE had for him with Hit Row, with Hit No. That's what I call it. It wasn't going nowhere. It didn't pan out to be anything. Booker T's 100% right. Swerve Strickland, he has done exactly what Booker T has said. He is based off purely his talent is why Swerve is where he is now, and his musical talent as well. He took what he was gonna do with Hit Row and just made it so much better on his own in AEW. And he made the most of it, and he's become his own man. So
inside the square circle, so that's as much as I'm gonna say on that issue as far as Swerve Strickland. You know what though, man? The one person that's laughing, is Vlad TV. He's the one that's laughing, because he got all this stuff, started and stirred up. And now Swerve Strickland, I thought this thing was over with. I really did. I swear to God, the last thing I thought about was waking up this morning to an FU.
He saw he did too. He snuck it in there, dropped the mic, got the hell out of the ring. There's a word for the book. There's a word for that. I don't know what the word is, but there's a word for that. Somebody will tell me.
No, man, it's just this generation, man. This generation. Like I say, I'm an advocate for all young black talent getting into this business, but I'm an advocate for so many more young kids than just black, kids getting into this business. I'm an advocate for, anybody that got the talent to actually, make it to the next level. I'm gonna put a word in for them. And I think my reputation I've been solid, throughout my career. Like I say, I don't publicize a lot of things, but the guys out there, they know if I've been, on the side of, righteousness as far as this business goes. They know what Booker T has done behind the scenes. I don't have to, talk about it on social media. I'm not trying to get some extra, brownie points or anything for anything that I've done, but they know, they know. And people like Swerve, him and I, we cut from a different cloth, man. We totally cut from a different cloth. And there again, but I honestly, I wish nothing but the best for this dude, man.
Yeah, I feel that.
And that's the biggest thing, Booker T, and that's the attitude you should have. Booker T is being the OG, being a bigger man about it, and this is the best possible result. Another man disrespecting another man, he could have addressed it in a whole nother way. He could have went completely left. I don't know what Swerve expected of it. What did he want to come out of this? Did he want to really throw hands or something? It's just not. It ain't necessary. But I really respect Booker T just being like, you know what, it ain't even that big of a deal. So
and I want to see him succeed
and wishing him the best as well.
Will I ever say anything positive about him ever again? Probably not. You know what I mean? Will I ever put him over? As far as being a good worker. And someone who could perhaps transform this bit. No, I probably would never ever do that again.
Yeah. See, that's sad. That is sad. You can't blame the man. He just blatantly disrespected him. Now, if there was a thing of an apology, or if they met behind the scenes and Swerve just came up to him, they just met up just like my bad, or they just chopped it up and everything was cool, then maybe. But I mean, as of right now, I don't blame Booker T for what he just said right there. But that's just where it is right now. That's where he at right now. So,
you know what I mean? Because I've learned my lesson.
I got it before.
It's like a dog. You know what I mean? I got a boxer downstairs, man, and we fight. We play, man, hard. I'm serious, man. He'll get the meanest growl that you've ever heard in your life. But trust me, when I put my hand in his mouth, he won't bite it. He would not bite the hand that feed him. You know what I mean? And so, there again.
It's a hell of an analogy right there.
I just feel like, you got to have respect for the people who come before you. And I mean, and Book, like anybody who laces up a pair of boots or even puts on a headset like me, we owe a debt of gratitude to you and so many people who came out of that generation that made us love this thing and want to continue to be a part of it. And I'm playing around a little bit with some of the stuff that I'm saying, but I do really mean it. Like, you got something to say, like you can say it to a man's face, and you can leave it at that. You know what I mean? I don't know what the idea was behind that. I thought that it was, I thought it was disrespectful, and but I too wish him nothing but the best. I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he's successful. 1,000 years of success. 1,000 years of success.
I ain't gonna bring personal beef to my job.
Yes.
That's the last thing I'm gonna do is bring a personal beef to my job. So I'm gonna leave it at that though. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame, man.
And that's the thing. Booker T had nothing to do with AEW Dynasty. He not even associated with AEW, so it was just really not the best moment. It's not a good thing to do in the first place, but that definitely wasn't the place to do it for the internet to start buzzing about it and everybody start talking about it, and it got to this point. Hopefully, which I know it'll blow over. We'll get past it. It's just another thing in 2025 that's happened, and hopefully they work it out and they can move on as colleagues, and hopefully they'll be cool again. Where Booker wouldn't mind even having them on the show, one day, and they can just chop it up and just let it go. You made it this far. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.